So I know a lot of people in this building especially want me to be a Cyclone. A lot of people in my family want me to be a Hawkeye. But I'm actually going to the University of Minnesota, and I will be a Gopher. I'm Jenny Adrian. I just graduated high school this past spring. I was a 9-year 4-H'er. This is my last 4-H event. And in the fall, I will be going to the University of Minnesota. The main campus for the University of Minnesota is located in the Twin Cities, but they also have campuses located in Crookston, Duluth, Morris, and Rochester. So they have a total of 5 different campuses. They have a total of 52,000 students with a 47.8 acceptance rate. Their school colors are maroon and gold, and the mascot is the golden gopher, who is the little funny animal guy, who is not very scary at all, but he's still the mascot. And their motto is Omnibus Artibus Comune Viculum, which translates to a common bond for all the arts, which is really fitting for the University of Minnesota because they have every major imaginable, but they're all bonded together through one university, which is really cool. The University of Minnesota is one of the largest public research institutions in the country, and one of their big themes there is driven to discover. So there's a lot of opportunities there to do research, to be involved, all those sorts of things. They also try to promote great academics, great opportunities, great location, and great value, which is what I will be telling you about today. The first one is great academics. At the University of Minnesota, they offer baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees. On campus, in their staff, they have 20 Nobel laureates, 86 Guggenheim Fellows, and 2 MacArthur Geniuses, which help contribute to the great academics that they have and the great teaching. At the University of Minnesota campus, there's over 50,000 students enrolled, but they still maintain a 16-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. So even though you're at this huge university, you can still feel like you're going to a small private school, because they have a good student-to-faculty ratio. 67% of their undergraduate classes have fewer than 30 students, and 81% of them have less than 50. They also have facts proving that they are a good school. Starting in 2005, they did a study, a 4-year study, about the students there that were freshmen. And 4 years later, 91 of them had success. They had graduated or were either going on to a higher education institution. 84% of them said that they would attend the University of Minnesota again if they could. And 83% of them rated their educational experience as good or excellent. The second thing about the University of Minnesota is that they have great opportunities. On campus, they have over 600 different academic, culturally, and activity-oriented student organizations. They also offer 27 different living learning communities, which are often called houses. I am living in one, which I'm really excited about. What it is where students all in the same major or with similar interests all live together. So some of them are majors. I'm living in a global studies living learning community. So my roommate is majoring in global studies. The people across the hall from me are. There's about 25 students all grouped together majoring in global studies. They also do it based on different cultures. You can stay in a Spanish house, you can stay in a French house, you can also stay in a Students Crossing Borders living learning community where you live with international students. Or you can do it based on all sorts of other things. You can live in a sign language house, you can live in a leadership house, a house about healthy lives, and then there's also the honors dorm. The University of Minnesota also features 23 Division I sports teams in the Big Ten Conference, and all of those are free for students to get into except hockey, basketball, and football. So it's a really great opportunity for students to get out, to see what's going on in the athletics without it being expensive for them, because as we all know, college students are poor. And then they also feature over 200 student exchange programs. And I was really drawn to the University of Minnesota because of this. Because I'm a global studies major, I'm very interested in studying abroad. And the University of Minnesota has one of the largest study abroad programs in the country. They also do what they call a national student exchange, which is where you can go to another campus in the United States for a semester without being a transfer student. So if you think that your job will be in a different part of the country, or you want to experience a different style of school, you can go be an exchange student just for a semester and not have to worry about transferring. Finally, the University of Minnesota is located in the Twin Cities, and 20 of Minnesota's 21 Fortune 500 companies are located in the Twin Cities. So there's really great opportunities for students outside of the schools there. Great location. The University of Minnesota is located in the Twin Cities, which is an awesome city. I'm very, very excited to live there. Money Magazine chose the Twin Cities as the best Midwestern city in which to live. And the University of Minnesota is the only Big Ten university located in a major metropolitan area. So if you want to live in a city and go to a Big Ten university, the only one you can go to is the University of Minnesota. The Minneapolis campus, or the campus, is split into two parts. There's the Minneapolis side of campus and the St. Paul side of campus. They're connected by a private road that a bus goes back and forth on all the time. It takes about 10 minutes. So even if you have classes on the other side, on the other part of campus, it's really easy and convenient for students to get back and forth. The Minneapolis part of campus is right next to downtown. It's a couple of blocks away. You can see the skyline from different areas of campus. So there's a lot of activity going on there that I'm very excited about. And then the St. Paul campus has lots of historic architecture. It's where a lot of the ag programs are, so it's got a lot of big green space. It's a lot like the Iowa State campus. So that's really cool too. Finally, the last thing that the University of Minnesota really promotes is their great value. They have the best non-resident rates in the Big Ten Conference for students that aren't from Minnesota, which would be me. The difference between an in-state and an out-of-state student's tuition is only $5,000. And they also offer scholarships to cover that tuition difference. They offer one scholarship that's a $5,000 scholarship every year. It's called a Gold National Scholarship. And so it covers the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition. And then they also have what they call a Maroon Scholarship, which covers half of it. And then, in addition, they also offer reciprocal tuition with North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, and Manitoba. And I received a Gold National Scholarship. The picture up there is of mine. I was very excited to get it, and it's what allowed me to go to the University of Minnesota. So I really love that part of their program. So the University of Minnesota offers great academics within their staff, also with their class sizes. They offer great opportunities on campus with many different activities and many different ways to get involved. They offer great location by being in the Twin Cities. They're the only university in a major metropolitan area in the Big Ten Conference. And they also offer great value with great opportunities for out-of-state students to go to their school. So I am very, very excited to attend the University of Minnesota in the fall. I leave in about 2 weeks, a week, and I can't wait. So I hope I was able to share some of that with you. Are there any questions? Global studies. My stepmom works for a company that's contracted through the Department of State, and she traveled for many years teaching people across the world how to use this computer program that the Department of State was using. And so I thought that was really cool, and I was like, well, I want to travel for my job. And so eventually that turned into, I want to work in international relations or diplomacy, and so the major to do that is global studies and political science. Iowa State University offers global studies as a major, but only as the second major, so it didn't really fit what I wanted. It's mostly political science classes. Then the University of Iowa offers global studies as a major, but I really didn't feel like I'd have a whole lot of opportunities to take internships and do experiences outside of the school there that were nearly as relevant as the ones that I would be able to gain in the Twin Cities. So I felt like I would get more out of my schooling if I was in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities. So that's why I chose to go there. It's an each year thing option. There are both freshmen and sophomores that live in it, and then most juniors and seniors don't live in the dorm. But they offer, the benefit to it is that not only do you live with students in your major, you also, someone's in charge of that living learning community, and they plan special events that are relevant to what you're doing. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much for listening.